Hey, we are here at the Better Marriage Daily Podcast where I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
And this is where we give you tips on how to love each other in spite of each other on a daily basis because there's so much to love in spite of. Isn't there though?
There is.
Yeah. So today we're going to cover what happened recently with us, right?
Yes.
So
Fun times.
Yeah, fun times. So what I have written down here is the weekend. What happened, why it happened, and what happens when one spouse is a people person and one is not. Right?
Yes. Let's see if they know.
Let's see. Which one is the people person?
Which one would it be?
If you had to go A or B, what would you guess?
What would you guess?
If you guessed A is the people person, you'd be wrong. B is the people person. Now she can be a people person.
I am a people person.
Well, until you're not.
Until I'm not.
And it's a hard line.
Hard. Abrupt line.
Full stop. How can I get the hell out of here? Yes. So this weekend, I didn't set the timer. Look at us. We're getting this thing. First of all, want to say if this is your first time here with us, please like and subscribe. I know that's the thing that it's a thing. It's a thing.
It is.
It's
important.
We got to do that part,
Mm-hmm.
Because we want y'all to be able to get us on a regular basis and and stuff like that. So yeah, like and subscribe so that you can be connected to us. It's right down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lord. So yeah, so that's where we at. So this weekend, I found out that as much as I try to not be, I'm a lot like my daddy.
You are.
But I think what it is for me, I'm like him in the good ways. I like ate the meat and spit out the bone.
Right.
That's what I like. That's how I like. That's how I feel.
And who brought that to your attention?
Well, we was both thinking about it. You talking about yesterday?
No, Sunday night when everything was over.
Oh yeah. Sunday night, and that's another thing. How we've been married, and don't forget the cameras, babe. Every once in a while, that's yours, that's us, and that's you know.
Gotcha.
Because they want. I want them to see your lovely eyes. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So we both had the revelation. We are both, as we were going through our day, we were both thinking it from different perspectives.
Right.
So she came to me and I said, you know what? Did I come to you first? And I came to you.
No, I came to you first.
Oh, yeah.
I brought it up first.
So tell them what you said.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I said, you have taken your daddy's lead when it comes to family gatherings and things like that. I said, and that's pretty cool. I said, I don't know if you noticed that. I said, but I've thought about that a lot, like recently, that you are your dad when it comes to family gatherings and things like that. I said, they are no longer at the house. And so now it seems like this home will be the meeting place for the family.
Very possible.
Yes.
Very possible.
Very possible.
Very possible.
And
how do you feel about that? Since we're being all forthright and
I don't.
And open with America and the world on YouTube,
I am good with that when I have notice. Yeah, I'm good with that when I have notice.
Right, and we're gonna talk about that today.
Yes, and because of the way that I grew up, we always went out the house, like to our aunts.
Explain. Tell them why.
Yeah, we had an aunt that I'm from Port Arthur, so we had
Port Arthur where?
Texas.
You got to remember, we worldwide.
Yeah,
we speaking that to this. We worldwide.
I'm from Port Arthur, Texas, and we had an aunt, my great aunt, and everybody would go to their house. She and her husband's house, and that's where all the functions would be. They just loved entertaining, so we never really entertained my parents never really did entertain per se. So
Right.
it was just us six, the four girls, my mom and my dad. And so this is different. On occasion when people would come in town, we would, have a little gathering with those people who came to visit, but not the entire
with the few
family, in Port Arthur. So this is something different for me.
Yeah, and I grew up again. Here we're always going to tell you, about the blendation situation. And so the way I grew up, there was always one house for a particular season, and it was on my dad's side. And on my mom's side, when we got together, it was my mom's immediate family only. I've only been to 3 or 4 functions where there was a mass family gathering on my mom's side.
Okay.
There was a family reunion once in the like late 70s, early 80s. And then there was another one that happened, late 70s, and then another one happened in the mid 80s. And then other than that, it was just me being in relationship with my cousins, uncles, and aunts that were on my mama's side. But for the most part, when we got together as a family, it was the immediate family at my grandmother's house. And because her immediate family kind of stayed around Kinder, Louisiana, everybody was at their respective houses.
Right.
And we would just visit here and there, as the parties would die down.
Right.
But on my dad's side, that's a whole nother story. Mass family gatherings happened at my grandmother and my grandfather's house in the country in Dural, Louisiana. That's Duralde, Louisiana. There's only a caution light, and where my grandparents and them lived isn't necessarily technically in Dural, I don't think. Which is amazing because it's like one street and you pass it and a whole bunch of fields. It's like Dural, city limits. And then you're over there in the country in Lons. Lons de Prix-en-Noir is where they're technically from. Hey, come on now.
All right.
So anyway, we would all go over there for for big family gatherings. Thanksgiving was my Aunt Dorothy's locale. Everybody went there for Thanksgiving. Christmas Eve was back at the homestead at my grandmother and them. But for sauce pecans and like when the sisters would come down from Oklahoma, pretty much it was by my dad's house for the most part.
Yeah.
And that was like the place. And so the reason I can see how you would say that, because they came down from Oklahoma and this time it was here.
Yes.
And it felt good.
It did.
And it felt good. And so you realized that that I'm kind of de facto taking over that position. When I realized that before he passed, that I was going to be put in the position of being, of him. Because with the first cousins, I feel like I'm him to the first cousins that my dad was to his brothers and sisters.
Okay.
That's what I feel like. Now, they might tell you something totally different.
You could.
You never know. I don't know. So that's where we were with that. But the way I felt like I was becoming my dad had this habit of just throwing parties, unscripted. Like,
I've heard.
Yeah. Like he'll wake up on a Sunday morning or on a Saturday and go buy everything and then just send the word out to the few people he know will get the word out to everybody else and say, hey, I'm cooking the sauce. That was it.
Yes.
That was the invitation. That was the announcement. That was everything. And everybody understood what that meant. And so by the time 4 o'clock.
It was tradition.
By the time 4 o'clock would come, there's, 50, 60 people at the house. Everybody chilling, eating, or people coming through, getting a plate, rolling out, So that was how that happened. And that's kind of how it happened for me. Because I had it, my dad passed in December. So it's been a year. This is December. And so I was like, I got his pot and I was like, man, I need to cook a sauce. My little cousin Linda, they cooked the sauce. And I was like, man, I got to come out of retirement. It's been a long time since I did one. So when we say a sauce, it's called a sauce piquant. Here in Southwest Louisiana, we got something called a sauce piquant. Sauce piquant is not necessarily a red gravy. Matter of fact, most on Southwest Louisiana side, on our side, it's generally not red in color when it's finished. Although some people do put tomato sauce and tomato paste in it, and we do have tomatoes in it, but it doesn't determine the color. So it's generally a brown sauce because on Southwest Louisiana side, we're brown sauce makers. If it's a red sauce, it's something like a Coubillon or a etouffee or something like that. Then that'll be your red sauce. Or if it's sausage gravy. When they say sausage gravy, that's generally a red gravy.
Oh,
That's generally a red gravy. Look at me. Right. So this is a sauce pecans cooked in a big black pot over an open flame, and you got to tend to it so that you don't burn it, because if you scorch it, then the gallons and gallons of sauce that you have in there have been destroyed,
ruined.
I'll put a little video playing while we're talking right here about what it looked like. But so I was like, I want to make a sauce,
Yes.
and I want to see if I still got it. So I made a phone call to my cousin Gus, because right now in our family, in my opinion, he has the hand. He got the hot hand, because he'll do a gumbo or a sauce pecan, or and his brothers and sisters made him. The reason he didn't come yesterday, or Sunday, was because they had him cooking a vegetable soup.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's become the resident big dish maker.
Right.
Now there's other ones who do barbecue better and this, that, and the other, but as far as a sauce and a gumbo, he kind of has the throne right now. So because we family and there's no competition. Can't be no competition. I called him. I said, "Hey man," I'm gonna do this sauce and I don't want to mess up all this meat, because to give you perspective, when you cook a sauce or a gumbo in a big pot for a lot of people, you don't just get a regular chicken fryer. You don't just get chicken from the grocery store. You got to go and get either hen or rooster. And then I got a tip from somebody else who told me that they do a young rooster in it, because it's even more tender than a fryer that you get at the grocery store. But you do this because whenever you're cooking a long time in that kind of an environment, if it's not a tougher meat, it's going to fall apart.
Yeah, falls apart.
Which is not bad, but then you gotta eat around bones and stuff like that. Nobody want to do that. Nobody want to do it. So anyway,
we will. We don't
really get it
want
twisted. And that's why I don't put turkey necks in it.
Right.
Because you put turkey necks in it, you've cooked it so much that the first round of eating, is great.
Yeah.
But then when you go back, that those turkey necks have started to disintegrate, and there's bones everywhere, and you can't run through the food like you generally want to. But my people like my wife, they don't have no problem with it.
Baby, give it to me. Give it to me.
I'm a simple eater. I'm a more simple eater. I don't want to go through all of that.
It's too much work.
Too much work
for you.
For me. So I had 5 hens, and they cut them up. So so that's a whole bunch. It's a lot of meat. And then I did 10 pounds of sausage from the spot over here in Louisiana, smoked sausage. See, in Louisiana we have smoked sausage, and it tastes like nothing anywhere else that we've tasted in the country. Maybe outside the country or somewhere, but I think we're kind of unique in what we have. But anyway, so that gives it a great smoky flavor. You do it. So I cooked it. I asked him for the advice. He gave me the tips. It all came back. It's like riding a bicycle. So I did it. And as I was cooking, it felt like old times. I'm around there, and then when we start talking about family. So me and my eldest son, her biological son, my bonus son, but we just say son. We don't get into the step and stuff like that. So our oldest son, Anthony, was here, and I don't have cartilage between these 2 bones in my wrist. And so it's a lot of wrist work. And he was in town, and I said, "Hey man, I'm cooking tomorrow." He said, "What time you started?" I said, "About 11. He's like, "All right, I'm coming." I said, "You coming?" "Yeah, I'm coming." I said, "All right, cool." So basically we did it together, in the backyard, and she's got video, but I might post a little bit of that video. But yeah, it was real cool, because it was legitimately what I needed.
Right.
I didn't know it, but it's what I needed.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. But you didn't tell them why you did it this particular day.
Oh yeah, I had been saying that I wanted to do it, and I'm tearing up now. I had been saying I wanted to do it, but I didn't really have an opportunity, and I kept prepping people. I said, "Hey, I'll make a sauce. When I call you, just come get something. That's no question." So my cousin called. He saw the Facebook posts that said that we were at my cousin Jackie's house for for her daughter's birthday. And there was a
Courtney.
sauce and a gumbo.
Uh-huh.
And he said, y'all keep that same energy. I'm coming the week before Christmas. I want a sauce, right? And so I volunteered. He sent the text, hey, we coming for real. And I said, I got you, bro. So I said, I'm cooking the sauce. And I knew I was going to do it big. So I started making phone calls to people and letting them know, look, I'm doing the sauce. You ain't got to hang. Just come get a plate. I don't want the food to go to waste.
Right.
So we're doing this thing. Anthony's helping. We're doing this. I do the potato salad. And I had
and not just potato salad.
I'm doing my mom's potato
Your
salad.
mother's. That's right.
Everybody knows.
Acts a fool behind.
And everybody loves, right?
Yes.
10 pounds of potato, just so you know quantities, right? 10 pounds of potato. And so we did that. I did that. So I had that going. So Anthony was helping me to stir the chicken while it was browning. So to make sure it did. And I came in here. She helped me and boiled and peeled the potatoes and the eggs. And then I got everything together. I did that, rolled out, went back to this. So I just kept maintaining it. I cleaned everything off the back porch. It was cathartic.
It was.
It was cathartic. And the whole time, y'all, I'm sitting up there going, man, my wife is awesome. Because yeah, here we go. I'm going, man, my wife is awesome because I told her she didn't have to do anything. And I meant that because I'm like, I understand that I just pulled this on us.
That you did.
I understand that I just pulled this on us. So I had my mind ready. My mind was ready. I was like, I had the whole cleanup ritual down pat. I knew what I was going to do for this, that, and the other. And so she was just she was doing her initial cleaning of the dishes or whatever she wanted to do to make sure everything was cool. But the whole time, she's like, well, I can help you with this. Okay, well, chop these for me.
Yeah.
Chop these. Okay, cool. So she was sous chefing as well. Right. So then she was taking on that. And really the whole time you never was able to enjoy it. You never relaxed.
No, because I was being me the whole time.
Tell them what that is.
Being me is, cleaning after, whatever, during.
This was a during cleaning.
During, and then, just prepping everything, making sure that we had everything that we needed for when the guests arrived.
But I had already done that though.
No, but it was pulling them out, making sure that all of that was fine.
That's what I'm putting.
Washing dishes.
Yeah, once they make that known,
drying dishes. And I have a dishwasher, but there are some things that you just can't put in a dishwasher. So I was washing dishes, as we would cut up, the onions and the peppers and all that stuff. So I was doing all of that. I was, washing. I was, dusting, cleaning, the bathroom that everybody was going to use, the guest bathroom. So I was doing a lot. I was on my feet. And we had gotten up earlier that morning.
Because I sang the national anthem.
Yes.
The Halal guys had a basketball tournament that was on ESPN the day before in Houston. I sang right before the LSU UT game. I'm an LSU alumni, as y'all may or may not know. And we got skull drug. We got skull. Our men's basketball team got skull drug. It was very disheartening to watch.
Right.
To be excited about going to a game and then watch it and go like.
But you did your thing though.
But I sang.
Yes, you did.
I posted it on my social, so if you care to see it, go check it out. And so we had done that the morning before.
Going to Houston.
The
Saturday before.
Yeah. But the day before.
The day before.
And then my cousin Josh and them came in, and when we got back, we were back for like an hour. She's going to get undressed, and I go, hey.
To clean. To start cleaning.
To start cleaning for the day. I said, hey, no, we going out. Remember I told you we're going to go eat?
And I was looking like.
That's the face. And then she fixed the face. No.
Okay. Now I remember.
Yeah. Now I remember. Because again, the communication thing is very, very important. Right? So I'm like, hey, look, remember, we're actually going. I said, no, you don't have to go. You can go to sleep.
No, I knew that. I knew I didn't have to go because if Vanessa didn't want to go,
that's right.
V wouldn't have gone.
Side note, that's another thing. Once we pass 50, we realize that, we ain't doing stuff we don't want to do.
Right. Absolutely.
We ain't going to funerals we don't want to go to. We ain't going to nothing we don't want to go to.
No. Functions, anything.
Yeah.
No.
Some things are obligatory.
Yeah.
Very few things are obligatory and non-negotiable. Most things are, do I feel like going?
Right.
So anyway, so I told her, so you ain't got to go. She said, no, I'm going to go.
Mhm.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
And I said,
Okay.
well, why don't you drive your own vehicle
Right.
so you can leave? when
And
you
the
wanna leave.
restaurant is right down the street.
Right down the street. Right down the street. So anyway, so we do that and then wake up in the morning. So now you're doing this stuff and you're going, I'm looking, my wife is moving and she never stops. She never stops. Never stops.
Never.
She's going. You would swear she was the one that threw this party. Right? Even, and
Because we're a team.
we are a team. We are a team.
We're a team.
But I was fully ready to do this on my own.
No, that wasn't going to happen.
I-
You
I-
could have done it,
yeah.
but I didn't want you to have to do that
Yeah.
on your own because it was a lot. It was a lot for the two of us,
Mhm.
So no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it.
So anyway, so while I'm out there, with Anthony, we're out there cooking and talking, and the relationship is where it is today, which is a blessing from God.
Mhm.
And I go, wow, because usually what I say is the gift that keeps on giving, stuff that my dad has, just coming back. He's the gift that keeps on giving. And so this way, I said, he's the gift that keeps on giving.
Mhm.
This tradition was passed down. Now I got to get my biological, got to get little Sean out there and teach him how to do it. Anthony knows how to do it.
Mhm.
I got to teach him how to do, how to do the salsa. We got to
Right.
cook one together.
Right.
So that's on deck. But we were out there and I said, wow. So I've become my dad in that I will throw. I've always been that guy.
Yes.
But because I'm in relationship with Vanessa, I've curbed that part of me.
I'm so grateful.
Because I just get to the point to where
I'm so grateful.
I need to people
Mhm.
and I need the people with my people.
Right.
And I understand that if I got alcohol and food, they're gonna come,
Right.
And I need if I need a reason, I just throw one.
Right.
So I hadn't done that in a long time.
Mhm.
So that felt good to just do that.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Daddy. Appreciate you. The pot is beautiful. It's gonna be used. I'm gonna take care of it. But yeah, that was. And then whenever you said you just like you turn into your daddy, I was like, oh. How? How exactly?
And look, the whole time while everything was going on, I was like, bless your mother's heart.
Mm-hmm. Tell them why.
Oh, because that was a lot. And you gave me notice. He would not give notice. It just would hit him and he would start planning. And then she'd find out, of course, that he wanted her to cook this, cook that. So I was like, oh my God, bless her heart.
Yeah, Mama was a G.
She was.
Mama is a G. Mama is a G.
Yeah, she's a G.
She's a G because when he said he was cooking, he was only cooking the meat.
The meat. That was
and
it.
then he was very seldom was he doing the prep,
right?
like
Or the
onions.
cleaning, and he was.
Oh, he never did
and
cleaning.
he never did the cleaning.
Never did cleaning.
And you helped me with all of that. You made sure that I was straight. And I was really, really surprised and pleased that when the evening was over, everyone helped
Oh yeah,
to get the house back in order.
oh yeah. My family does it because we
Yeah.
know we're a lot.
Right. And that was
And we wanna be invited
beautiful.
back.
Yes, that was beautiful. So
Yeah, because I told them, hey man, we got that. They were like,
yeah,
nah,
it was
nah,
like,
nah,
no,
nah, nah.
you're good, you're good. And it was like, no, and I mean, they even had the kids.
Oh yeah,
the kids
the
working.
the kid, yeah.
Yes,
In
you know.
our family,
Yeah.
no, the kids ain't gonna watch adults work without working. I'm so sorry. That ain't how that ain't how. Matter of fact, we played a game. I mean, I don't know exactly why we started playing the
I know
game,
that's Harold.
but it was a really cool game. My cousin Harold came up with about back in the day versus today. So we just talked about how things were back in the day because we had my uncle. It was 3 or 4 generations in the house. My uncle Ronald, who's
That was cool.
who's the oldest boy alive now from my dad's side, and then we had us, and then we had the generation behind us,
Mhm.
and then one behind that. Actually.
Yes.
Well, maybe the generation behind it. And one behind
And
it
one
because we
behind
had
it.
like
The
toddlers.
babies.
We had like
Mhm.
young people in
Mhm.
elementary school.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was really, really cool.
It was a good day.
It was a
It
great
was a
day.
great day.
And they wanted to help. And full disclosure, the reason I wasn't wanting them to help was because I didn't really feel like doing that right then.
Hmm.
But cooler heads prevailed. I've got help.
Yes,
Let me use my help.
that's right.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna use my help.
Hmm.
So now we've talked about all of that stuff to say, okay, so here's the pot at the end of the rainbow. What happens when one of you is a party person and one of you is not? How does that work? So I've said that it was something that I needed.
Mhm.
I needed to do it,
Mhm.
right? So I did it. And when I did it, we were doing it.
Right.
So how do you not justify, but how do you manage whenever that happens?
Well, first of all, it wasn't a problem for me because I knew that you needed that.
But
Your dad,
even when I don't need it. But let me finish the
No.
statement. But
your dad passing left a huge hole.
yeah,
It did. It
because these
left
things need to happen for a family. Where are they going to happen?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so I knew that you needed that, and especially in this season. So there wasn't going to be any pushback from me.
Mm-hmm.
So my job.
But you gave me pushback.
No, you know that's what I do. Why is he? That's what I do. You know.
Oh,
and
I got the face. I got the scrunchy face. I got all of that stuff.
Yeah, but I was, I was going to support. There was no doubt. You shouldn't have had any doubt in that.
I didn't have
because
any
I
doubt.
was not going to allow you to do all that by yourself.
Right.
Because I knew that you needed the help. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, that was important.
Okay.
It didn't matter how I felt about it or anything.
Okay, well, think back to when I would do that, and it wasn't a thing where I was, having to do, wanting to do because I needed to do. It was just
from back in the day.
Yeah, when I just did it. Yeah.
Oh, back in the day, I wouldn't have been happy about it because it was extra work. But you have to understand too that it helps that I'm not working. You know what I'm saying? That helped a lot because had I been working, I probably would have been in tears. Just knowing that I had to get up the next day and I haven't gotten any rest to go back to work in that environment.
Because that'd have been a Saturday and a Sunday.
That'd have been a Saturday and a Sunday. I wouldn't have had any time to regroup, to get myself ready for the environment that I was going into. So it's a little bit different now. And I understand so much more about, with maturity, you start to understand so much more about the family dynamic and what is needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this weekend was all about you. It was all about your family.
Yeah.
And I was okay with that. Truly okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, but I would, if you were working, then Saturday night would not have been something I would have wanted you to come to. I'd have been like, nah, you go rest.
And I would have stayed home.
And tomorrow's going to be big.
Mm-hmm. And I would have stayed home.
And you'd have stayed home.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing, just knowing your spouse.
Right.
So, so I needed to do this. So what happens when one of you is a party animal and one of you is not? You just got to figure it out.
Yeah, you have to figure it out. And,
a social bird and one of you is not.
And for the person that is not the social bird, I've learned not to feel guilty about not being a social bird. You know what I'm saying? Because I left y'all in the kitchen on Saturday night. Deuces, I'm going to bed.
Yep.
And so I didn't feel bad about that. Let you guys do what you were doing, and I went to bed.
But it was just me.
It was just guys, but still, but having people in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Amen.
Yeah. I went to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it, y'all. Look, this was the easy one. This was an easy one. It was just about, what happens whenever one makes a small decision. It's not a major decision, but when one makes a decision that both of us have to deal with,
right,
by virtue of our position,
yeah,
in the home, like I'm home. Now, if I'm not home, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But when you're home and they throw a
because
party,
it affects me.
Yeah, it
no matter what.
Yeah.
It affects me. So, because after everyone leaves, too, you know what I'm saying, there's a cleanup. And even though everybody did help, I waited until the next day, like to, clean my floors and all that stuff,
Because
disinfecting.
you know she's a deep clean person. So you want
am.
to talk about that right quick? You want to talk about that right quick?
I'm a deep clean person. I deep clean before the guest. I deep clean after the guest, so that I can rest and be okay. Because, like we said before on the other podcast, everything has its place. I wanted everything put up. I wanted the floors clean, and everything was, disinfected. And then now I can rest and be okay.
Well, look. Here's another one. Here's another one. As we round it out, that whole thing about you, and I'm gonna work on my y'all. I realize I say a lot. That whole thing about you and wanting everything to be done and finished.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that. What is that? Where does that come from?
Maybe the way I grew up.
And when I say done and finished,
it's about
done and finished, I mean
complete,
like clean.
Yeah,
like there's
clean.
something tousled in a room that no one goes in, and she can't rest. Like when we were married, like she's like, I'm so stressed out. I said, what you stressed out about? What is that closet? What closet? Well, the closet in the guest. I said, girl, if you don't. So you mean to tell me we're on a getaway, and the only thing you can think about in the middle of this beautiful getaway is the fact that there's something at the house that is not clean. Something, by the way, at the time that no one was going to see because she don't want no company.
I didn't want any company. Don't say I don't want
I'm talking about back then. When we were back then, it was like,
no.
So we're somewhere enjoying ourselves, a getaway, and she can't even enjoy the getaway because she worried about something that's dirty in the closet, in the corner, in the back of the boot, in the back of the car, in the corner of the dog. But it's not together and she's just all bent up about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe the way that I was raised. I mean, just if I'm thinking about it, I was just, there's certain things that I know that I need to take care of. And if I don't, then it's in the back of my mind. And I keep pushing it, and all of a sudden it doesn't stay there. So it's like, it bothers me.
Yeah.
It bothers me. I can't rest until something is done that I had a mind to do.
Now, I fancy myself a great counselor.
Yeah.
I fancy myself a great counselor and a solutions man. I'm a solutions man. And so I noticed that was a problem in our relationship because we couldn't even enjoy ourselves in certain situations because she was worried about what wasn't done at home.
And what I had to go home to.
Right.
Go back home to.
And we couldn't enjoy ourselves while we were at home because she was worried about stuff that she needed to do. Mm-hmm. The pending schedule of fixing stuff on her list had her weighed down and stressed out. So I suggested, hey, we didn't kill nobody.
True.
We not in jail.
True.
We don't have someone looking over our shoulder saying that stuff way in the corner, in the back of the booth, in the dark in the corner, in the dark in the back room, in the back of the house is messed up and you are not a good person. We don't have nobody pointing that at. I'm not putting that kind of pressure on you. I said, and you have stuff together. You're a schedule person. Why don't you put everything on a schedule? Mm-hmm. And look, if you don't finish it this week, guess what?
It's okay.
It's okay. It ain't going nowhere, which is what has you all. Mm-hmm. But flip your perception of the fact that it's not going anywhere to it's not going anywhere. I'll get to it when I get to it.
True.
And it seemed like that gave her some comfort and it relieved her a little bit.
It did.
Because she had a schedule that was very tight.
Mm-hmm.
She's working. Tell them you're working.
I was, working 5 days a week, a lot of times overtime, commuting back and forth. I did that for 17 years once we got married. And it was a tight schedule. And there were things that I know that I needed to do. And I had, this to-do list. And when I didn't scratch everything off that to-do list, It bothered me.
I mean, it messed up everything, y'all.
It bothered me.
It
bothered
messed up
me. Yeah,
everything, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
And I'm like, no.
Because if V can't rest,
if V can't rest, the loving ain't the best.
nothing is. Not just the loving. Nothing is. I have no peace.
Right.
Mhm.
And that
I
was
had
just-
no peace.
You had no
because
yeah.
it's different now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
after I gave her that revelation, she started looking, because that's another thing y'all can do. So another takeaway is to be considerate of the other person. Figure out how best to respond to things that they do, not harmful things, but things that they do that just make you uncomfortable. Look like she did. Look for the why. She understood why I was doing it, and once she understood why I was doing it, then that gave her a better piece about me doing it and about her role in what
Right.
I had signed us up for.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. But then now we're talking about, I forgot what it was. I had it. It was really good too. It was really good. Doggone it. Brain fart.
Happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's it's cool when you can help each other.
Yeah.
In areas, in different areas. This is a partnership. So
Yeah. So I'm constantly looking at. So I'm giving an outside perspective. That's what it was. I'm giving an outside perspective on what I see, and then so the way we work is I'll be like, hey, this is what I see, and then let her deal with it.
Right.
And then she'll be like, hey, why you do that? That's this, that, and I'll be like, okay, I can see that, but this is why I do this. And she goes, oh, okay. So basically the other the other tip is to do that. Give each other feedback about what you see in their patterns of behavior. And if you're not where we are in a relationship, a good way to start that would be to start with this way. Hey, are you open for feedback?
Right.
Are you open to feedback? And then usually the face would be like, about what? do it.
Know what?
Yeah. About what? Because she's already like this. She's already like this. So I go, no, feedback. Well, I noticed da.
Yeah.
And I watch the body language. And when I see the body language, I go, okay, so this is not something that we're going to talk about today.
Because I have a lot of it.
Yeah. You do have a lot of it.
I have a lot of it.
You got a lot of body language. And so when I noticed that, I go, okay, well, this is going to be something I'm going to have to give her 24 hours or 48 hours on. Or it's just something that I'm just going to just drop and leave, because we don't necessarily have to talk about everything.
No.
Some of the stuff is just for her to go through
and take notice
and
of.
take notice of. And then I'll revisit later and be like, hey, what'd you think about that? Did you think about it? And she either did or she didn't. But I've already pointed it out. That way, once it becomes a thing or it's messing up my time with her, I can be like, see, I think you really need to, then I can revisit.
Right.
Well, I think you need to revisit. I think you need to think about what we talked about and figure out why that is making you feel that way. Because, I ain't do nothing.
Right.
You messing up my time worried about this. You messing up your time worried about this.
Yeah. Yeah, truly.
So yeah. So hey guys, that was it. We hope that blessed y'all. One person is a social bird and one person is not.
One person is not.
And what do you do whenever the social bird schedules an unsanctioned social event that inadvertently signs you up to be a co-host of?
And in a busy season.
Oh, in a busy season.
In a busy season, no less.
Yep. And so the key to that is to think about, for the introvert, is to think about why your partner is doing that and then react accordingly. And for you extroverts, I knew what I was doing. So what I offered was, you don't have to do anything. I'm going to do it. If you choose to help, cool. But if you don't, cool. I'm going to knock it out. I've already planned out how I'm going to do everything.
And let's let them know this, that it started out as a family function, but it was also, you reached out to other people to come through, or just to
Oh yeah, I told him that a while ago. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, she said that
Yeah.
say it started off with
Neighbors,
just family,
yeah.
but then it ended up neighbors, and
neighbors and
friends and people in the
friends
community.
and yes, people that we have relationship with. We just wanted to bless, and I appreciated that. And
Yeah.
it wasn't because of the food; it was that it was a seed that was being sown to
Yeah.
these people who are, several of them are very close friends, or we adore them.
Yeah.
For
sure.
services and things like that. People who take care of us,
Right.
And
And for those
that
of
was
you,
great.
and then I messed up the next day, and we're gonna go because we're at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And then the next day, so that big old pot that I showed y'all earlier, we went from that big old pot to a Ziploc bag of food. That's all we had left.
That's all.
And so this one of our friends who works at my doctor's office, she always takes care of us. When we call last minute, hey, we need to get so and so, she always takes care of us. So she was the first one to comment on the post that I posted about the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, funny, my phone didn't ring. So I go, wait a minute. I know what side my bread is buttered on. I said, well, let me go ahead on and get her some. And so I delivered it. We took a picture. She wanted to take a picture, right? So we took a picture of me giving it to her. Then she posted on Facebook. I didn't tell her to keep that low-key secret 007 style. So then she posted, and all these other people who, I'm in a relationship with, like, yo, he was doing deliveries and ain't passed by.
Right.
I'm closer than you are. Really? So that's what we're doing, Sean? Okay.
Yeah, that
so
was
I
pretty
feel
cool.
like I'm going to have to do a
Yeah,
sauce at some
that
point.
was pretty cool.
Then little Sean's lesson's probably going to come sooner than later.
Right.
So that I can catch all the people that I
Mhm.
missed.
But it was a seed that was sown, and it blessed
Yeah.
so many people.
And the big thing for me was I realized that I didn't lose it. I still got it.
Still have it, baby.
Still
Y'all,
got it.
ooh, you killed it.
Yeah, I still
It
got
was so good. Oh,
And the potato salad, my uncle gave
Killed
me.
it.
First of all, my uncle came. He's the litmus test. I gave him a piece of the meat. He said, oh. Well, first of all, when he walked up, he said, "Oh, that look like your daddy's sauce, man." I said, "Hey, we about to let you know." Broke him off a piece, gave it to him. He said, "Oh, that's good. That's real good." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And so we let it cook. He stood around the pot with us, so it was real old school. As the men come, they come stand around the pot. Everybody around the pot talking
Real
smack.
cool.
Nobody's talking directly over the pot, by the way.
Right,
All you
right.
hygienists out there. So he came back. Then he tasted. I told him, said, "Taste the potato salad and tell me what you think."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I want to know, no real talk."
Mm-hmm.
And so he came to me and says, "Hey, you told me you want me to find out." He says, I tasted a little too much mayonnaise. He said, but it's like very slight.
Mm-hmm.
He said, that was your mama's potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
said, oh.
He said that was Jody's potato salad.
And in true married people fashion, my Aunt Georgie said, well, babe, then why tell him that? Tell him it's there. Well, why tell him that? He said, well, he asked me to be specific, so I'm being specific. Pull back on that mayonnaise a little bit and it'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needed a little bit more mustard and salt to be perfect. Because when it's cold,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have that mustard and salt, you lose a little bit. But like when it's fresh, it was good. It was passable. And then when you put it with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this has been the episode on when your spouse throws an unauthorized party.
Mm.
What do you do? Do you go along with it? Do you make them do it on their own like they said they would do? Do you help a little bit, or do you jump in with all 10 toes and 10 fingers like my wife did?
Yeah, you can, but I don't know. I don't think you should, but it's your choice.
To be clear, I would have been fine.
I know you would
I'd
have.
have been fine.
Yeah, I know you would have.
Yeah.
Because you're that dude. You know,
I'd have been
you
fine.
wouldn't have held it against me. I knew that.
Because I knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fully aware and prepared for you to be like, okay. And you just sit down.
I'm not that chick.
So till next time, I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
And this was Better Marriage Daily, the podcast that helps you learn how to love each other in spite of each other. So until next time, we'll see you. Bye-bye.